everybody. So I am the host for tonight, right? I get to share with you guys some things that I have done, some things that I have learned, and more importantly, what you guys can do starting today to get more distributors. So we are super excited about this evening, right? And of course, if you guys have questions, I am live in actually 2 places right now. So feel free, it'll be some good questions that can come from either location. So as I'm talking, utilize the tool so I can chat with you guys and just give you any insight, any Q&A. I love Q&A. So let us know. Hi, Ash. Let us know what we can do to help you guys. So I'm just allowing people, of course, to get on and get settled. That way people don't miss too much. But as always, this is recorded. So you guys are more than welcome to run this back if you like. So, and hi. This is exciting. So I see people are getting on. Again, I'm live in 2 different places. So if my eyes dart, it's not fully the ADHD. Some of it is just the fact that I thought it would be amazing to just have this be recorded. So that way, if people have questions about this later, it exists in more than one place. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, right? I got a couple people watching. So what is it that I did wrong? When it came to getting distributors before, I remember my first 6 to 8 weeks, it was a struggle. Actually, enrolling both customers and distributors for me were both a struggle. I remember having trouble getting people, like, the wording right. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of was rolling with the punches, throwing whatever on the wall and seeing what stuck. And one of the biggest things that I did wrong, and I've done it wrong kind of subconsciously, thank you, Sheree. One of the things that I did wrong and that I kind of had that major aha moment last year was that I looked at the distributor opportunity and the customer opportunity as being super different. I thought that I had to have a whole nother spiel, a whole nother approach to be able to enroll distributors. And then what I did wrong was I wasn't telling my story. So we all have this misconception, and this is why we're sometimes hesitant about even going into business. We're like, if I go into business, I got to become a slick suit wearing sales guy, and we have this image from TV of that. Or even for me, my mom is also an introvert. So when I was growing up, walking through the malls and stuff, she would speed walk past those people who would try to grab your hand and give you lotion. She was not for it. So we kind of have in our mind this misconception about what sales looks like, not understanding that on a daily basis you're selling yourself in some way, whether you're going for a job interview, whether you're at work and you're working really hard hoping that boss sees you and puts you up for a promotion. If you're dating, you're selling yourself in some capacity because you want someone to see you in the best light that you also see in an awesome light. So every day we're doing things to put our best foot forward. However, we see sales as being so different. So that's one of the biggest things I remember was my first couple posts are super embarrassing. And I'm excited because, of course, with Facebook having the On This Day and then having Tom Hop, my 4-year anniversary is coming up in November. So I'm going to start to see those terrible posts come up primarily in December. And I'll screenshot some of them for you guys so you can see how bad they were. And I wasn't getting much of a hit back because I was merely trying to market this business in a way that wasn't personal, that I thought I would be able to sell something to someone. So what I changed, the first really big change I made in my business that really allowed for me to start to attract distributors was understanding that I was enough. We all have this thought process that there's someone else that can do this better. There's someone else that can do this in a way that we can't, and that we're not good enough to just be ourselves and enroll distributors. Or when you're kind of on the teeter, like I might be good enough today, and you try it and it doesn't work overnight, we start to second guess that and say, well, you know what? I knew I wasn't good enough. Let me just go back to being impersonal. Let me go back to mimicking someone else. And that way I'm going to maybe get a better result. And that's just not true. So I had to really understand that I was going to be different. Hey, Shantae. I had to be okay with being different, being different than my sideline sisters. I enrolled with some coworkers and our personalities were way different. As y'all can probably tell, I'm kind of hyper. So most people that I meet and interact with, my energy level was way higher. So they're cool and collected, doing their calls and stuff. And I'm mad hype, as I usually am. So I was different. And I was different also than everyone else. I would meet distributors. I met people. I didn't know it was a whole team of people around. And I'm meeting people. I'm like, wow, like these girls are so different than me. Like they're so much more polished. They're so much more professional. And here I am wearing sweatpants and I haven't painted my nails in 3 months. And here I am trying to, project health and wellness and beauty. So I really did have that moment of, can I do this? Can I be good at this? And I am. I am good enough. And I decided that I was good enough. But no one could tell me that but me. So when I was finally okay with that, I'm like, okay, well, my posts are going to look different than other people's posts because I'm different. So my energy, and that's something that I thank God for because it comes across in my posts. So it's so different than other people, but it comes across in the way I post, right? So if you follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, especially as I was building, I really was genuinely excited. So you saw that come across when I would rap somebody. I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all, this girl just came on me. I'm talking on my posts as if I was talking in real life. Oh my gosh, y'all, this girl just came over. She just knew this rap wasn't going to work. And we put the rap on her. This is her result 45 minutes later. She is so excited because she was just so upset about this mommy pouch that she had. So I really started to integrate stories into my before and afters. That was a big difference that I made. And people were like, wait, well, I'm upset about my mommy pouch. That sounds like me. And I started, it wasn't long. I was a little wordy. I'll try to change it a little bit. But I remember starting to weave stories into my before and after photos, right? So thanks, Ashley. Talk on your post like you're talking in real life. And of course, polishing it up is not as completely informal, but making sure someone can read it and still get the message was huge. So as I was doing that, integrating these stories in, people are contacting me like, the girl you just shared is just like me. The girl you just shared, who just started her journey, like I have 2 kids too, and this, and this. So, try to do that. It's just don't be too wordy because I can be chatty, but finding ways to marry that in. And that was the foundation of starting my distributor journey in terms of growing my team. Why? Because people have to be excited about this product before they can even consider being an amazing distributor. So people were getting really excited about the product. They wanted to order it. And all I started to do, especially while rapping people, so y'all will always hear it. You'll probably get sick of hearing it. But my first distributors really did come from rap appointments. People who I met in person, I sat down with, I could really show them that like, hey, I actually care about your goals. Hey, I actually care about where you're coming from, your background. I care about helping you make extra income. So they could feel that energy in person when I wasn't so great about expressing it yet online. Social media is a freaking art, y'all. Like you can't just hop on social media and win. Like you really have to be thoughtful. You have to be persistent. You have to be ongoing in terms of your pursuit. It's just not an overnight thing. So if you're not willing to put the time in or have the patience to continue to build your audience, continue to build that momentum with your posting, it's going to take a while. It took me about 6 weeks, maybe 6 to 8 weeks before I really started seeing customers coming in from my social media posts that people I didn't know, rather. I got wrap appointments from folks I didn't know, but the people who came on who were complete strangers on social media, that really took me 6 to 8 weeks of posting every single day, of getting 100 new followers every single day. I would not go to sleep until I had 100 new followers on Instagram. So all of these things played a huge role in building, but it just totally was not an overnight success. Totally wasn't. But I just knew, because I prayed over this before I joined, I knew I was supposed to be here. So even on those days, those weeks where no one was signing up, the days and weeks that exactly consistency, the days and weeks that like people would just call and ask a bunch of questions, promise to sign up on Friday and never sign up, I never gave up, because I understood, you know what, I took 2 years to try one wrap. Who am I to judge this girl for not enrolling with me right away? So I'm speaking more about this customer aspect because really it leads into point number 2, that distributors are just paid customers. So when you look at the distributor opportunity as being extremely different, that you have to have this whole different skill set and this whole different approach, you're always going to feel lost, right? Because now you got to sell someone on starting a business, and I don't even know how to do that, y'all. I can't go out here, like we're in Atlanta still, I can't walk out in the middle of the street and convince someone to become a distributor. I don't know how to do that. But what I do know how to do is share the product, the wrap. And from there, if I can share the product and the wrap and someone's interested, and as I'm wrapping them, I can explain to them that the same $25 they gave me, if they have a friend that wants to wrap, they can get a $25 back by next Friday, and be able to pay for their Chinese food or whatever they want to do. So I really do drive that point home of making sure that your persona, your personality is in your business for one, but that you also understand how important it is to really lead with the wrap, lead with the product, because you don't want a bunch of people on your team that don't care about the product. I've had that. I had a whole year where I thought I would be slick and I would just enroll people who wanted to start a business, and that was my least successful year in terms of retention. I don't have a lot of those distributors from that year because they weren't here because of the product. They were here for a dream. They were hoping they could do very little and just make money doing this business, and it requires you loving the products first. So that's really why the party pad is set up the way it is. That's why we talk about the wrap first and then we flip the party pad over. Or I think now actually it's just all the way through. And we go right from what the wrap does directly into what the kit is. Because if you don't know what the wrap is, why are you here? If you don't care about the wrap, what are you going to do when it comes to your potentials? So that really is at the core what I do. And telling my story, I guess if it's tip number 3, would just be the same way I ask you guys to tell your story more in your posts about the products. I see so many posts about the products that are just like ads, and even if it's like a fun emoji filled ad, it's still an ad and people are scrolling right past it. One of the biggest things we learned from Gary Vaynerchuk, which is someone that Corey loves, is you really have to assimilate into the social media platform that you're in. So I built primarily through social media. I'm going to give you guys that perspective, but social media led me to parties. It led me to wrap appointments. It led me to coffee meetups. So I use it as a tool, not as a crutch. But forgot train of thought. Oh yeah, so Gary Vaynerchuk, he mentioned that you have to assimilate into the platform in which you're speaking. So if you're looking at people's posts on your Facebook, and if you scroll across your own post, it looks nothing like the post before, the post after, you can kind of tell that people are ignoring it, right? They're not going to pay attention to that post. So what I try to do is, when I look at my Facebook, I see a ton of people talking about themselves, what they care about, what made them laugh, where they're going tonight. I see people talking about their kids, what makes them happy, what brings them joy. And all of those things combined is what people are looking for. Those are posts that get the likes. Selfies get likes. So if you want to know why you don't have a ton of interaction on your Facebook or your Instagram right now, does your post look like the other posts around it? Do you look like your friend's post, or do you look like a scammer or a spammer? So make sure you look like you, and that's going to really help. So posting more, and this leads into what your homework will be. But really taking the time to post more about yourself. What do you care about? Don't just post about the skincare. Post about you using it. That's something that I would stop and pay attention to. If I see a girl with a facial on, I'm going to stop there before I stop and read a post with someone holding a box of facials in the camera like this, like, hey, we have facials, or just a corporate screenshot from Google. I'm not going to pay attention to that, but I will pay attention to it if it looks personal. It looks like it's their story. So that's going to be what I ask of you guys for this week, is to take the time out and once a day really make sure that you take one post. And even I even encourage this, even if it means that you go from posting 17 times a day to posting 2 or 3, just for a week till you get the hang of it. But make sure those posts are really thoughtful. Make sure that post sounds like you. What's the before and after? And either that before and after, was it a mom who was super stressed out about her body and now she is so confident that she can start to make that change? Is it you? Is it your progress? Right? We always talk about being a product of the product. Is it you? Like, who were you before you picked up a wrap today? If I was not pregnant, I would be talking about all of the french fries I've eaten, and that I want to get those off. I don't want those to show up next week. My birthday's next week. So I will be talking about, y'all, I just ate probably 275 french fries in the last 2 days, and now I want to wrap before my birthday comes so I don't look like I ate 275 french fries. So that's me being me, right? But it's also me showing people that, like, hey, I have a solution to my own problem. And the same goes for the business. So the business is the same thing. I'm always talking about my before and after in terms of the business. So if it's, the fact that we went and got 275 french fries, I maybe couldn't have afforded that. I couldn't afford extra french fry money. But prior to It Works, it really was like, can I even afford groceries? So if I went from can I afford groceries to being able to just eat french fries at my leisure, that's a before and after. And that may seem so small to y'all, but if I knew that I could get more french fries with a little bit more money in my account, I would want to know what you're doing. So I'm, being funny, but hopefully you guys get the point of that. Every post that you make, it doesn't have to be long, but it should show in some way a story. And a story means before and after, to me anyway. And that's what really sells this business, because you want to talk to people who are where you were, whether it's before the product or before the opportunity, and what the solution was when we got a hold of this product or this opportunity. So that's your homework. Again, make sure 2 to 3 posts a day really tell a before and after story. This may require that you guys sit in a dark closet, with just your phone away from your family, to write out a couple posts ahead of time. This may require all kinds of stuff, but just to get this done, because otherwise you guys probably would just post the next upcoming week and wouldn't get any more production done in your business, because people are literally ignoring your posts because they aren't speaking to them. You're not speaking to anyone when you post. You're just talking at people, hoping that someone pays attention enough to buy from you. So yes, don't underestimate extra french fry money. So that's really all that I have. That's your homework. What you guys can do for me is screenshot that. So as you're, telling your story, if you want bonus points, go ahead and go live with that. So it can be you holding up a product, and just being like, hey, here's the wrap. I'm getting ready to wrap. Here's why I'm getting ready to wrap. right? Because that's an aha moment that Corey had in his business today. He's like, I'm looking for someone to rap, and I'm not sure I can find someone because, and I'm like, well, maybe people aren't clear yet about what the rap does. Like, we have a whole new audience. So if you were following us in 2014, maybe we talked more about the product and what it did, but maybe we slipped a little bit the last 2 years in terms of how we're telling a story with the product and what it does and who it's for. So that's our own personal project. The next few weeks, next few months is to go in and make sure our posts really are speaking to people who are where we were before the product, and that we can move forward from here, explaining what the product and what the opportunity did before and then after. So thank you guys again for hanging out. I'm going to end the live video, but you got the assignment, right? Screenshot us, show us what it is that you guys are doing this week with your posts, and translate this in person. This is great practice. So again, I'm just a social media girl, but if you are more of a blitzer, if you are someone that parties like I party, we're getting ready to party at 8 o'clock. So as I do that, those stories get integrated and plugged right into my appointments, plugged right into my parties. So once you start to reprogram your mind from, I'm just going to start talking at people about the products and opportunity, and you really tell a story for everything, you'll find that your whole business changes and you can enroll more distributors. So that's it, guys. Hope this wasn't too long. Hope you have an amazing Friday, and I will see you guys soon.